Well, I think again you make that point very well, and again the things if you with a lot of jobs, if you're not really noticing it, then the person's doing it very well. But I
Yeah.
think you're right that the direction of all the films he did is really clever and really well thought out and comedic. You know, for me, Life of Brian is still and the Holy Grail. You know, are right up there in the top 10 comedy films of all time. Probably both in the top 5 for me, to be honest. And you know, it's a lot of it is corralling all that talent and putting it together and making it work as a whole, which is something that's you know unappreciated, which I think is you know that's what I realised how. Yeah, and I appreciate him, but I don't appreciate him enough. Is what I realised from reading this book.
But you're not alone there,
Yeah.
you know, because I sat and watched Monty Python's Life of Brian for the umpteenth time again a few days ago. Sat next to Michael Palin, you know, and Michael was killing himself laughing at himself a lot of the time, but also John and Eric, and it's as you say, it's a really beautifully constructed film with hilarious stuff in it. But I actually sat and watched it because we were talking about Terry, obviously, and I watched it as a sort of film being directed, almost like not a comedy. And there's some amazing shots, you know. I mean, really sort of atmospheric shots and lovely, quite romantic moments with Brian and Judith, and she sort of comes out of the shadows, and you think, oh God, this is really well put together. And then you have a killer like sketch within that, you know, the ex-leper or Pontius Pilate or something, and it's hilarious. But the actual set dressing of it is historically accurate, and it looks magical, you know. So, and Terry learned this from way back. They did a BBC sketch show called Twice a Fortnight, which was mainly Graham Garden, really, and they had Terry Jones had little filmed inserts that Mike also acted in, and Terry sort of directed those, and as the archivist, that's the only stuff that survives because the BBC, you know, wiped all the other stuff. But the little Terry Jones films survive, and even then, going back to like 1967, he sort of realised that it's got to look right for the joke to land. If people are thinking, "Oh, that's not the right car. That car was 10 years after this scene, sort of thing." If you've got those sort of mistakes in it, then people are thinking about that and not getting the comedy. So it's got to look authentic, and then the comedy really works, and that's what happens with the Python films. Certainly.